Odds are you recognize that theme song. It's the Munsters, the original TV theme from back in the day. One of the stars of the show, Butch Patrick, is on the MPW Digital TV Celebrity Hotline right now. Let me grab him. Butch Patrick. Hey, man, how's it going?
I'm doing. How's the Quad Cities?
Oh, we're fantastic. We are super excited for Halloween. I got to the radio station this morning, and I had cases and cases of candy from the Tootsie Roll company that they sent us. So we're feeling good. A little bit of a sugar high. Can't beat it.
All right.
Excellent. It's not a bad thing. We got to talk about property horrors. And, Butch, I'm going to tell you right now, I am the kind of person that believes in the afterlife. I've the house that I live in, we have saged it twice just to kind of clear out some bad vibes. So with Property Horrors, the show, talk about the idea, and this all stemmed from a property that you got from a grandma, or what?
Yeah, I lived in this house in 1967, right after the completion of the Munsters. My grandma owned it. She had purchased it and moved from Illinois, a little town called Geneseo, not too far from you, actually.
I know where that is.
And, I lived with her in Geneseo, and then she moved during the production of the Munsters over to Macon, Missouri. And it's haunted, and I kept an eye on the house over the years. And what happened was I found out, a friend of mine called me and says, you've always shown an interest in your grandma's house. Well, it's foreclosed upon, and it's vacant, and there's a very good chance they're going to demolish it to put duplexes up. There's these brothers in town that like to get low-income housing or whatever.
Sure.
So anyway, I took it upon myself to buy the house, and during the process, my sister shared with me this, hey, the house is haunted. And I go, no, it's not. She goes, oh, yeah, it is, Miss Ruby. And I go, Miss Ruby? She goes, yeah, and we did some investigation, and Elizabeth Wardell married a guy named Ruby, so she was known as Miss Ruby. But how would a 6-year-old little girl figure that out unless the ghost had told her that,
Right. Wow, that's intense. So what do you have any personal experiences while being in the house?
I have not as of yet.
Okay.
But we've had ghost hunters and paranormal experts and mediums come in, and they all basically say, oh, yeah, this house is definitely haunted. Not only is it haunted, it's on a vortex.
Oh, no.
And it's like a sort of like a Penn Station of ghost travel. People coming and going and popping their head in. Some of them are mostly nice, but we've had a few troublemaker ghosts that had to be removed from the premises.
Jeez Louise. So when you have the idea for Property Horrors, the premise is that you're going to go around and help people that are dealing with houses that are haunted, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much similar to myself. Actually, sometimes they buy a house not knowing it's haunted. In fact, that happens a lot. That's pretty much the premise, because all our Facebook friends followed. We do a big Facebook following, and what happened was people were communicating with us that the same thing happened to them. So when I met Kevin Harrington, I told him about that, and I had a show about me moving back to a small town, and the paranormal thing wasn't really the main deal. But after speaking with him, we decided that would be the way to go. So that's how we came up with his friend. Siobhan Avila is a medium and lives in Bing Crosby's haunted house in California.
Wow.
And I'm in my haunted house, and that's how this all came about.
Oh, I think it's fantastic. Have you, so is the show out yet, or are you still working on it? Where is it at? Where are Property Horrors at right now?
We're at the final stages of development. We've got the storyline, we've got the backstories, we've got how it's going to be, and now Kevin Harrington is shopping it. It's very, very cool to have a shark, literally a shark on the hook for you.
Right.
No pun intended. and then Young Jung Entertainment, Fred's great, and we're all getting along wonderfully. So we're past pre-production, and we're into serious development and selling it now.
I love it. I'm so happy for you. And it's been kind of a fun year for you, Butch. I saw you hanging out on Oprah's Where Are They Now? And then I love this, the coffee table book, Butch Patrick's Munster Memories. Now, for you, at the age that you were when you were on the Munsters and the show comes on and it has such great success, as you reflect on it, are there things in the book that fans are going to love seeing? Is it kind of a behind-the-scenes thing or what?
Actually, it's called a coffin table book, so I want to get that clear because Elvira came out last year with her book, and she coined the term coffin table. Which is okay. I love Cassandra, and she's welcome to use it, but I want everybody to know that this was before her. But here's the premise of the book. So many people over the years came up to me and have shared their stories about loving the Munsters and growing up with the Munsters. that I decided, I said, wouldn't it be nice to share all these stories and put it into a book form? So sprinkled in with that's the premise, is mostly fans and their stories. We have a few super collectors. We have a few people that were actually on the show, the makeup people, some of the guest stars, and then some stories from myself of what it was like to be Eddie Munster. So it's basically a fan-driven book with some technical updates and some stories from behind the scenes.
I love it. Coffin table book. That is so genius. I mean, it's great. It makes total sense.
Thank you.
Oh, it's so great. What about the Woof Woof dolls? Are those still available?
We actually had a run of those about 20 years ago. We sold 93 of them, and the mold broke. We were going to do 100. The mold broke at 93. It wasn't cost effective to actually tool up for 7 more dolls, so we stopped the run at 93. But recently, a gentleman in Oregon presented me. He makes Bigfoots for Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Wow!
And he made one and had it presented to me when I was in Oregon last year, and it was so good that I told him, I said, would you consider making more of these? Because I always have people asking, where can I get a Woof Woof doll? So he created one, and now we're in the process of taking orders on Munsters.com for the run that will start in January. The deal is this one's about half the cost of the one that we had before, and the one before had a hard face, and this one's going to have a foam rubber face like the original.
I love it. It's such a great thing. If you're just tuning in, that's Butch Patrick talking about the new show coming very soon, Property Horrors. And I don't know if I don't want to assume, Butch, but Halloween is on Monday. Is this a holiday that you've enjoyed over the years?
Oh, yeah. I used to be able to come home from the studio whenever it was Halloween. Mike Westmore would create a mask or give me I always had the best. I was really spoiled when it came to Halloween. I had access to the best makeup people in Hollywood, so I was a little spoiled.
I was going to say it probably made it easy to not only get a lot of candy, but terrify people at the same time, right?
Yeah, well, sometimes I would wear my makeup home just to sit in the car with my mom driving and have people look over at me, and then I'd bark at them or growl at them.
Oh, my gosh. That is fantastic. I love it. Well, listen, when Property Horrors rolls out, I want you to come back on the show so we can talk about it. I didn't realize the strong Midwest connection that you had, and I think that's fantastic, man.
Yeah, I'll come over and do an in-studio. I was over at American Pickers not too long ago. They're just down the street from you.
Yeah, not too far. Frank Fritz is a friend of mine, so maybe we could coordinate that whole thing together. That would be nice. That'd be fun, man.
They're Munster fans.
Oh, well, who isn't? Listen, I wish you nothing but the best, man. Butch Patrick, again, the Coffin Table book, if you want to grab that. Butch Patrick's Munster Memories, and coming soon, Property Horrors. Can't wait to see it. Happy Halloween, Butch. Thank you so much for the time this morning. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.